came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for...
Ooh, everything looks so good. People...
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group...
And if it's...
Well,
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell meal.
Oh, true.
Speaking of cases, do you...
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel...
If it hadn't happened right...
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous note.
If only...
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawn. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities... It's not that I don't have faith in their... It's easy to guard against and deceive a single... Which is exactly why the Spina di Ra... Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing.
See?
It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the...
I see. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet...
Yeah, we've heard that she...
Well...
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon... I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would...
Could you suggest something a little more practical?
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleeping...
That might...
Valid point. I hope... All right. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusation? She had nearly...
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might... Why don't we give it a try after this?
Huh? No, it's...
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway. It tastes kind of salty.
Is that so? If we're all finished eating...
Yeah. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Can't you see Paimon's barely... Hey, Navia! What...
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing to speak...
Let's get ready...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to... in any case, I...
See ya! There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that...
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler?
Vache?
Hey, why are you still... Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you... No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I also remember no matter where I went, Vache would go with me. But now, no. The thought of me gives him... If you meet Vache, tell him perhaps that is so. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did... Is that what you call it? It was a state of neither fear nor fright. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time. And only I think I hear your companion. Farewell then.
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Navia's outnumbered!
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so...
I followed.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually...
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your...
Do not speak!
Sorry, Demoiselle.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your
Sorry,
Whatever. What else?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their...
I'm sure they've known about me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought...
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy...
What? Your point being that they're out of speed?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will... Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop...
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere with...
I know, she's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious! And there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too!
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell as such. We're still...
It will take 50 years for me to
If it were me, I would have...
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest, you're...
Huh? Really?
Yes. All thanks to you. After we parted ways, I was on the way back to... That the Fonta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fonta? only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have...
So the Fonta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the...
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quick...
What? Why would they go after us too?
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just... Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too! But it was real faint. Does that mean the primordial sea...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing.
New intel?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, but he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Yes, thank you. This is very important information. Oh, you...
Well, you did say that our farewell... And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people...
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula after...
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners.
Don't worry, you two. With
It's right up ahead.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down.
I shall find rooms for our...
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's
This is your base?
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present...
Well, after all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone.
To be honest,
Your father...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to...
No. I'll explain it myself. My father's name is Callus. Yes, 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was... At the time, I believed that if he only stood... But strangely, he not only... That even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender. 3 years later, how could he protect his honor if he's dead? The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating.
Ah, so that's why you're so...
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder. However, I believe that I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died, and now here I am investigating his death.
Demoiselle.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also...
But how could... never mind.
There is one other thing.
Oh, her? Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who... Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go of.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the art. She knew Master Callus beforehand, and there was only ever...
It's not that I don't understand.
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, yes, that is our
Oh, Papa. All right. Anyway, that's the information I want. Thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep.
Paimon slept, huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not...
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them up, but never mind that.
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating.
Wait, so...
How could...
guess...
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been... I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps.
Does that mean we're too...
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where if the Ocean that you met is one of the young women who went...
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of... In that case, let's go tell... Aren't you...
No, it... The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Lightning flash!
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is present.
This place does look...
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related.
See? They've...
Yep. Paimon can...
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy.
No. What I meant to say...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird.
We're here today to report an...
Is that even...
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business.
All right, then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice...
Thanks.
Please come in. It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to—
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
Ah, I see.
Who knew that Neuvillette would be so easy to talk?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in— There are no records of him either in the file—
Traveler? What?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
And what are you trying to say? Are you trying to console me? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, you even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing. If you truly regret my father's death, why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you— Oh well. In any case, my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny?
Now that I think of it, on the—
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? Yeah! And if that's what had happened—
I really think I found a true genius for a part. All right, let's go to Poisson.
Yeah, we're gonna—
Do you want to go with me now? All right, then I'll wait for—
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would...
There's no need to be so surprised. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Paimon was confused by it. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for...
Well, Poisson is... Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, Duma. You said before that you still had some business at...
About that. It's because my partner here... You still remember, right, Melus?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr...
Could you tell us a bit more about...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called... At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could...
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, if you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to... And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety, while lacking energy to do... As he oversaw Poisson...
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. But no matter how... Not only that, Boss began...
Yes, but the enemy was very... Recognizing that, my father decided to... The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work. That night, my father hosted... But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my...
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? And looking back on it, though, I now believe... Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I'm... But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a 3rd person at the scene. With 1 extra person, you're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely... I think this 3rd person is probably the... On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are... Even though Spina di Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed... There is no need to follow your father's path.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told... Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is... Did he think I'd just accept his... I've never accepted that. I want to find out the real answer.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner...
So you do know something else, Malus.
Yes, I do. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point?
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness, and the serial disappearances. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation. But as long as you remain safe, if something were to happen to you, then he and all the...
Right. So nobody would be...
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though...
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to...
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was...
So he chose to die?
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for this, I'm sure he'd be...
No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where... Yeah. I suppose that's true. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. Malus, what was the key evidence that...
It's the location where when he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things into consideration.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside, nor what people we may be able to capture. But a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they may have been infiltrated.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's guilt, now that we've connected Synth with the disappearances case.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and demoiselles. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk.
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, if the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individual, after several rounds of testing, the first is Florent.
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? Thanks to his position within, there's someone else like him too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. But in the beginning, they were only reselling some...
So, they're like a...
Yes, you can say that. It's a bit different.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between... Although the guards mostly leave us, since Thierry is always in the...
I see. To think that the enemy we've been...
If you want to investigate them, please...
Of course.
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing... After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's cave. If it might help, you could...
Aw, thank you so much.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together.
It is settled, then. Please
Thank you for arranging it.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her.
I'm sorry that I only came.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You don't understand it.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know. I know. Only.
I'm sorry. I appreciate that. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I...
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless he had many regrets, and felt that. So when Mr. Callus came to him, he tried to be as careful as he could.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I don't know that for sure, but you could say. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had, even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense.
But Mama, why Papa always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do...
Well, things aren't all...
Yeah, Papa was a...
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man, regardless of whether he left you a parasol...
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've...
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is...
You really think that's the first...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, after my partner here put the dots to... Can you do me a favor and try...
Let me think. After that, he told us that he wanted to go. My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. But when I got there, it was already too late.
So you also remember...
Indeed. The guards said that the first shot didn't hit anyone. Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the... But according to the guards, about the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned in?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he even want to face the Oratrice machine? Did he lose all faith in the court?
About that, Malouse told... I'll tell you everything.
I understand. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet. Many people have laughed at me for... But it was Mr. Callus's trust that no matter what others might say...
Don't worry. You and all our other... Add Ash... Add Astro... Thank you for Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know.
are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that?
I mean, where I work is really up to... Callus did a fantastic job running the It would be next to impossible for... Anyway.
Ah, yes. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that
I get it. If you want to go through the original file...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, So, if you hypothetically wanted to...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just... Removing a serial number is also not... So I can promise you, they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Jokes aside, I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so...
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know?
Sure. I will let him know.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Mark. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about...
Yes, I've never seen...
Oh, you were at the...
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already...
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to...
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a native.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that...
Yes, I was reminded of your father.
Exactly. I still...
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Arrhenius by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to, if not for the vigilance of my partner...
Oh, you're giving us too much...
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain safe. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you,
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's...
About that. The confrérie was responsible for that banquet. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No...
Sounds good. All my wealth comes from Callus's patron...
Lightning flash!
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on...
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation... Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile...
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Flora mentioned that.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and... If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn... Makes sense. But besides Jacques, the attack from... It's obvious that our enemy has been...
Do you think he knew, even then?
Given everything that's happened since... But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? And with funds from the confrérie, it's still really hard for me to imagine, though. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of... Florent? But as Spina di Rosula's advised...
So you're saying he's
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he... Thierry, you say? But I didn't feel like he was lost.
Yeah. Had he actually... If the mecha were taken from the guard...
Who could it be? You know, if you think everything...
Could we be missing other suspects?
Malus has always been very reliable. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in, we need far more solid proof before...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the...
Yeah. News came from...
Wasn't that place built specific?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui Harbinger called...
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know him.
Well, he's been accused of...
Wait, how?
That's what I thought was strange. If the charge against him stands...
Right. Because they'll...
Yeah.
I am... Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is a trial about the you're right. This is our best opportunity. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be...
We'll help you!
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver.
We heard that you'll be... It's our hope that...
Thank you.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production. Ah, you're right. And Navia is probably arguing up...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out... I've got to admit, that's one of the most... When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey!
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the.
No.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again.
That case had nothing to do with it. Huh? What's going on?
Why is she interjecting?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever... We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. And if my charges prove true...
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my... So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for...
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia.
That person... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriet.
Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charge... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please... Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel... Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney.
Apologies. It all just happened so quick. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. To the case of Callus the Only through elucidating what really happened in that case...
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that...
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must...
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of During the banquet, all attending guests heard two... When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques... The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so... in truth... Turned by my father. After that, the true culprit... Thank you for this. However, we should revisit the case now that we... Something's not right. Let me think for a little while longer. The testimony of... However, unfortunately... This assassin first shot Jacques. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene. And that they were since it was raining that day, the culprit was caught. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading every...